I remember when Charlie Kirk was killed, it took a lot of time to kind of figure out what was going on in my heart. And what really helped was looking at certain posts on social media. So one post kind of posed the question rhetorically: is anyone else feeling weird? After Charlie died, something has changed. Something feels off. I didn't know Charlie Kirk, but I feel like I'm mourning as if someone in my family has died. And I thought, you know what, that tracks. That resonates. And I feel like it's not just me. I feel like a lot of people feel precisely that. Later on, in the same day, I saw a video. It was an interview of Charlie Kirk. And they asked him a question: how do you want to be remembered? And he said, I want to be remembered for having courage for my faith. A lot of people responded to Charlie Kirk's assassination in a whole bunch of different ways. Some people rejoiced, but many people cried. And so many people around the world, they prayed. Even now you hear stories about people reading their Bibles or going to Mass for the first time in years, sometimes for the first time ever. And just kind of thinking it through, I don't think it's simply because here was an innocent man who died. It wasn't simply yet another attack on free speech. Here was this man who was a radiant witness as to what it means to have courage for your faith. Just think it through. Here's this guy. He's young, he's handsome, he's vibrant, he's brilliant, charismatic. Could have done whatever he wanted to do. He could have looked at the world and thought, forget this. I'm just going to look out for me and my family. But he didn't do that. He went forth. He allowed himself to be sent forth on mission, to go forth to the belly of the beast, if you will. College campuses, places which are traditionally hostile to Christianity and religion in general, to seek out young people where they're at, to invite them to ask questions, to make comments, to engage with them in serious conversation, to express to them in a clear, articulate form the Christian worldview. In a world where many times we're afraid even to talk to our own children. Charlie Kirk had this great insight that we don't live in a neutral environment. Constantly, especially young people, we're being bombarded by the world, the flesh, and the devil. Young people are told all the time there's no meaning, there's no purpose, and there's no hope, because there is no God. So the only option left for you to pursue is distraction and self-indulgence. And what Charlie Kirk said in response to that particular dynamic is, look, we need to pursue our young people. We can't be afraid, we can't simply tolerate them. We need to pursue our young people, to teach them, to lead them, and to inspire them, to remind them of the essential call to be great, almost against their will. Charlie Kirk was once talking to a young woman whose parents were separated. They were on opposite ends of the political spectrum. And he said, whatever you do, honor your mother and father. The world will constantly tell you that your parents are obsolete. They're old, they're out of touch, they're irrelevant, so they should be discarded. Do not do that. Regardless of your parents' political affiliation, you must honor your mother and father. Otherwise, the family will collapse and the country will come to ruin. It was another situation. Charlie Kirk was talking about people who are anxious and depressed. So he said, if you're feeling pulled in all sorts of different directions by the noise and business of the world, reclaim the Sabbath day. Have this one day where you put away your phone. You don't do any work. This is a day which is meant for the Lord. On this day, you're called to spend time with God, spend time with your family and friends, to read the Bible, to pray, to reclaim this natural rhythm that God has always intended for your life. One of my favorite memories of Charlie Kirk, he was talking to a bunch of students on campus, but in particular, he was talking to young men. And so he said, the biggest difference between boys and men know the value of delayed gratification, and boys say yes to everything. Boys don't see the value in saying no to something which seems good, but actually is not good. And then he wanted to say, look, young men, don't watch porn. Don't go drinking every night. Stop sleeping around. Pick one woman, marry her, have more kids than you can afford, and let your family be your legacy. I remember after Charlie Kirk died, his widow, Erica, was speaking to the nation, and she said a bunch of amazing things, but one thing really stood out. So basically what she said was, every single day, Charlie would come to me and ask me, how can I serve you better? Certainly he's playing on the theology of Ephesians 5. Husbands are called to lay down their lives out of love for their wives. But on a deeper level, he was demonstrating great humility in the face of the truth. At the end of the day, I might be smart, I might be educated, but I am a servant of the truth. I am never its master. And why? Because the truth is Christ. Jesus Christ, who is the way, the truth, and the life. And once I have clarity about that, the reality of truth and the nature of truth, I must pursue the truth with passion, enthusiasm, and vigor. And what's more, I need to allow myself to be sent forth on mission to share the truth with other people who so desperately need it, such that they might experience the joy of knowing Christ, the one living and true God.